Kamati ya uteuzi wa makamishna wa IEBC nakamilisha mahojiano na waniaji leo, ambapo Vincent Kimutai, watu watano pia vile watu watano wengine watahojiwa, wakiwa ni pamoja na Kimosop na Lisokubo, Anne Waithira Gachoya, aliyekuwa naibu waziri katika wizara ya elimu Hassan Nur Hassan, na Michael Olio. Baadaye pia vile kamati hiyo itafanya mkutano wa faragha na kuandaa ripoti yake, kisha kuwasilisha majina ya watu wawili wanaopendekezwa kwa nafasi ya mwenyekiti wa IEBC na majina 9 ya wanaopendekezwa kwa nafasi ya makamishna. Rais atateua mwenyekiti mmoja na makamishna 6 kutoka kwenye orodha hiyo. Kwa sasa tusikize wale ambao wanaendelea kusailiwa.
Shares the information rights to the stakeholders. We had 2 particular incidences, and the board members, that I remember one of the board members one time telling Vincent, "You're too kind, why are you not firm?" And I remember, we are doing interviews. You see the way you're doing interviews here, you have shortlisted candidates, you have then calls those candidates after the interviews, asks for resources. I remember, Prof, I was called as a result of that, to 2 incidences. I had to appear before a parliamentary committee because the person wrote to Parliament saying we are not doing this. The one that was scary was when I went to those red carpeted offices, which I think if I just leave it at that, you will understand. Chair, I'll just pick it up with what Bora has saying about the place of personal integrity. I've worked in the media, I've worked in government, I've worked in the private sector. When some media houses used to pick the information and in the process, some of them would call me. Says, "Vincent, this is a financial institution, and we know you. We have had this. Could you give me your perspective?" That was one of the strategies, effective engagement of the stakeholders. Number 2 is also the issue of understanding how to engage. I had a session, Prof, one time with the then cabinet secretary. I told Waziri, this is the situation we are dealing with, and if you don't act, my board members have said, we will leave this thing to you. So also knowing when to speak to the right places, to the right people at the right time. And then finally, Prof, just do the right thing. A friend of mine told me, he's a mentor of mine, Vincent, it is always the right time to do the right thing. And the beauty with the truth, Prof, you don't need to remember what I told you yesterday, because there will be alignment and consistency in what you're doing. We managed to overcome that situation. We did not have the boardroom rupture. We steered the organization, and today, Prof, I'm very happy to report the UFA has a quantum of, I think, close to 60 billion because of that track record, setting the laws, leading by example. At times I visit there, Prof, no one knows me, but the joy that you can build something that others will benefit years down the line. And I think if we mirror some of these things in the IEBC, Prof, allow me to say this, because the IEBC, if you look at it very clearly, you see the IEBC in the preamble of the Constitution, you see the IEBC in Chapter 1, through many provisions all the way to the amendment of the Constitution. So it's a very critical institution that requires not only technical ability, but also personal integrity. And Chair, I want to say this. If I was faithful with the money of people at the UFA in billions, I will be faithful with the votes of Kenyans.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay. It's not too long since Vincent was in high school. Mm-hmm. You might remember some things. You want to ask him some questions?
Be kind to me, Prof.
Sure, Chair. We usually start with an area in which you are an expert. I mean, you are an impeccable person in policy, right from Institute of Economic Affairs to Institute of Legislative Studies.
Yes.
Every other election year, political parties come up with manifestos.
Yes, and I've drafted some.
Which they translate into working documents.
Yes.
KANU Manifesto, Sessional Paper Number 10 of 1965, yes. NAC Manifesto, Economic Recovery Strategy, Jubilee Manifesto, Agenda 4. What's the difference between manifestos and the working documents and Vision 2030?
The one is that there is a lot of correlation. Interestingly, Chair, if you look at, with a tooth comb, you actually see parallels of what is in Vision 2030 in many manifestos. So I think the difference is in the language, the authority of the texting, when you are in policy, you are no longer promising. You're now talking about, as in even data comes in. But when you are in manifesto, Prof, you have to promise people heaven. People subscribe to hope. And so that is, I would say, in terms of form, you can have, the substance may mirror each other. Like if
maybe
you
bring the aspect of,
yes.
I've said canon, I've said NAC, I've said Jubilee, and I could also say Kwenye Kwanza. Then there is Vision 2030.
Yes, Prof.
I'm trying to see the main difference. You can see all these others are pigeonholed in a particular party and regime.
I see. At times, policies could transcend time. Like, for example, Vision 2030, we are now on the MTP4, which we have one last one coming. So the transcendent dimension of policy, they are across time. As I said about also the language, the broadness of stakeholders involved. But again, Prof, since we are in this political space, I needed to highlight the power of the promise, which you should have in the manifesto.